Hey guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Subscribers Showcase Rank My Ride. Now, the first one was so popular. I'm sorry I've taken so long, but I've had so many entries and I wanted to categorize them all, and I wanted to be able to put all different types of cars in each individual video. Now, hopefully this will be a weekly thing. This is episode 2. Like I said, episode 1 went really great. And of course, if you haven't already, please submit your cars. I think we've got up to 5 episodes so far. So we've got quite a bit to get through. On this one, we've actually got a nice array of cars from completely stock to absolutely mental, and a little bit in between. So firstly, let's jump straight in and we'll go with number 1. Now this is Alex from Spain. He has had this car for 2.5 years. It's a 180 model. One thing that he loves about it, he really loves the looks, the performance and the reliability for a daily driver. Now that seems like more than one thing you love about it, but I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Daily driver, you get points for that as well. One thing you hate about it, no cup holders. Now, mate, I feel your pain. I continually bring up videos showing different options for cup holders and all of that great stuff. Now, before we go through modifications, see if you can spot them. There's a couple. You'll probably only be able to spot one, but we'll go through them in a second. Future plans, I want to keep modifying it bit by bit and making videos for TikTok. Awesome. He's Alex TT POV on TikTok. The main plan is to enjoy it and have fun with it. But honestly, mate, that is probably the best way you can do it. Don't go mad. Don't spend loads of money. Just all the money on petrol. Get out and enjoy it. Now, he bought the car completely standard in very good condition on 180,000 kilometres, which equates to about 110,000 miles, so pretty good. And he's a student, don't really have a lot of money, so just made a few simple step-by-step changes. Done a ram air cone filter, makes a beautiful intake sound, and he's got a Maxton Designs V6 spoiler extension, which is really smart. Did you spot that? That is the question. Doesn't say what red. I'm going to take a punt and say it's a brilliant red or a Mazzano. It doesn't look Mazzano. I would say brilliant red. But what a great looking car. The V6 spoiler, yeah, and the free bar grille, so it's a facelift, but it's got the pre-facelift lights, the black ones. But that may differ country to country. And of course, the steering wheel's on the wrong side of the car. But a great stock example. 17-inch wheels, which makes them easier to clean and cheap for tyres. What's the handling like on that one, mate? Right, let's jump on to number 2. Now, number 2 is Gordan from Scotland. Instagram, TT Bullet. Owned the car for 2 years. Now, it says here it's a 225 BAM, but it is also 514 horsepower, 470 foot-pounds. Weapon. Absolute weapon. One thing I love about the car, the colour, Ava Silver. Now, Ava Silver can do no wrong. Even when it's dirty, it looks clean. It's got that little so instead of just being silver, it's got that nice sort of like hint of blue. It's a really strange colour until you've seen it and witnessed it in the flesh. It looks in pictures a little bit like Glacier, and he also is sporting a full Vortex kit. Very nice. I'm not a fan of the back end, more the front end for me. One thing you hate about it, I love it. But he then goes on to say, future plans, mod, sell or put away. So if you love it, would you sell it? Would you sell it? Are you getting a bit bored? Now this has got 3 pages of modifications. I won't go through all of them, but if you want to see any of the information, of course, I'll put it down in the description. G25 660 turbo, fully forged engine, and it's quite some list. Meth, big exhaust, loads and loads of stuff. Ignitron ECU, short shifter. Clubsport, got a clutch, BBS, wheels, full Vortex kit. There's literally loads and loads of stuff. But what a great looking car. I mean, the wheels for me, especially with the Avis, they are my favourite wheels. With a 4-pot Brembos. They even stop the car. Because I mean, when this thing's motoring, 500, effectively, what's that? More than double the original output. What am I talking about? I'm on a mad one. And yeah, 540, no, that is right. Yep, I was thinking foot-pound. No, that is mad. That is a madness. But yeah, no, great looking engine bay. Although, so for me, I have a thing about red and blue. Are you the same? I can't have red and blue. It doesn't look bad, to be honest. You've got away with it with a red rocker cover, but I can't do red and blue together. I don't know why. I think I remember seeing a car probably 15, 20 years ago at a Max Power show, and it had like an engine bay that was just red and blue, and it made me crazy. Ever since then, one or the other. One or the other. But then again, each their own. It looks great. I'm not going to argue with you, and to be honest, it's too fast. I wouldn't even be able to keep up with you just to go and have a look at it. So I can't argue with that. How do you feel about the Votex kit? Would you have the whole Votex kit? Or would you just have the front bumper, or the front bumper and side skirts, just the rear end? For me, the rear end's a little boxy. Unfortunately, he hasn't sent us that many pictures, so I can't actually show you too many pictures of the back end, but what a great looking car. And I think, to be honest, there's not really much else you'd want to do to that. Honeycomb grille on the front, the German badge, and what looks like the front sun strip is actually a very similar or Ava style colour, which is pretty cool. Serious spec list, and that Ignitron ECU is something else. I mean, it's like a 9-inch tablet hanging out of your dashboard, which I suppose, to be honest, you're not going to want to look at anything else, are you, anyway? And a boost gauge and all the other gauges on there. Pretty epic. So relatively stock looking car, but an absolute wolf in sheep's clothing. So it's tastefully modified, but then not a single thing spared under the bonnet. Next, we'll move on to number 3. Now, this is Peter Loudons from Scotland. I'm sure if you're on Instagram or Facebook, you'll have seen him posting loads of stuff before. Now, this is his Audi TT _PED on Insta. He's had the car for 1 year and 1 month, and it's an Audi TT Roadster 150. 150. You don't see them very often, especially modified to this extent. One thing I love, the fact that it still gives me the same buzz from the first day I picked it up until now. Now that, mate, that is priceless. You literally cannot allow for that, and you know you're in the right car. I mean, you must lock it and then basically walk away from your car whilst looking back at it the whole time. You know what I mean? And he is constant. If you want to follow someone on Instagram who's always posting and always doing stuff to their car, he's definitely a man. He makes me look bad. He does that much to his car. One thing I hate, the price of certain parts, unfortunately. Wow, there's not really a lot you can do about that. What have we got else here? Horsepower, around 210 with a stage 1 remap. So it's peppy and a little turbo. If you've never driven a 150 or a 180, small frame turbo, really boosty. Round town, it is on full boost, early doors, not laggy like the 225s. It is really punchy. Yeah, top end it might lack a little bit, but round town it flies. They are great little things. Never ever put them down. If you've never driven one, go and have a go. You might be surprised. Future plans. Next thing to do on my list is some paint restoration. Now, from the pictures, it looks fabulous. I mean, there is quite a selection of pictures here. And always has a lovely scenery, but that helps living in Scotland. There is always plenty to see. What else has he got? After that, SAI delete, replacement of some of the aging parts. I can't fault you there. Exterior, what we got? Genuine Quattro Sport alloys. Yeah, that's double the price of the car. QS rear spats, spacers, lowering, custom exhaust, single exit honeycomb rear valance. Yes, that is something you don't see very often. And in some of his pictures he has it, some of it doesn't, because obviously he's been on a journey with this car. But the honeycomb valance single side you don't see very often. Now the seats, he put the seats in recently and I think they are absolutely epic. We haven't actually got that many pictures of them, but I bet they're comfy and they look great. Being a convertible as well, they are on show even more. What do you think of the seats? The old Recaros with the Martini graphics on, very cool. Coupe brass splitter, smoked indicators, Euro rear lights, carbon fibre spoiler extension, polished fuel flap, mate. It goes on and on and on. Loads of stuff. Diamond floor mats. There is just what he has not done to this car. I don't think you can do. So yeah, it makes sense to just go through and do the aging parts. Alcantara steering wheel, carbon fibre trimming. A really nice spec. The diamond mats. See, I like the idea of the diamond mats because you can just literally like lift them out in one, shake them out, beat them, clean them, whatever, and then the car is pristine on the inside. Because otherwise, you literally ground the dirt in, and then you have to scrub the carpets to get them perfect. But if they don't fit perfect, it annoys me. Plus, I don't want to put my feet on them because they look too nice. You know what I mean? What do you think to the old diamond floor mats? Would you have them or not? And then let's move on to our last but not least. Now this is Steve Wilkinson. Now this actually has featured in a couple of my videos in the past, along with some of these others. And this was at the Audi TT meet. Now this is the complete other side of the spectrum. Now this car, to say seriously modified is an understatement. He has got pretty much everything done to it, including a ginormous, enormous spoiler, like the biggest rear spoiler I've ever seen on a TT in my life. Steve Wilkinson, UK at Build It, Send It, Break It. YouTube, Build It, Send It, Break It. There's a theme here. 2 years he's had it. It was a 225. It is a 225. It's not, but it is. Things you love about it, it's fast. One thing you hate about it, it always wants something fixing. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, it's a TT, but then when you over double the horsepower again, yeah, 500 horsepower. That's a big old boy. Future plans probably sell it, so that's unfortunate. But it's one of them, isn't it? I mean, you kind of end up making the car sometimes into such a corner where it's only good for a very specific thing. Like that is incredibly track focused. I mean, we're talking bucket seats, roll cage, harnesses, that gigantic spoiler, the big splitter. I mean, you're not going to be taking it to do your shopping. You're not going to take it in a car park multi-story because it will probably touch the floor. The suspension's probably hella strong. Engine, full engine build, rods, pistons, G25 660, 1,000 injectors, external wastegate, loads of custom work. Full gas gold suspension, adjustable arms, full tracking setup, like, yeah, all the things you'd expect it to have. The wheels are 1552 Turbo Max. I think they look wicked. They are probably one of my most favourite wheels. However, cleaning them would be as equally as fun as the ones I have now, which I already hate doing. Engine bay, we'll call it functional. It's a little messy, but to be honest, it's a track car, so it needs to be functional, fast. It's not a shower. This is a goer. At over 500 horsepower, doesn't matter, does it? Someone's going to look at your bonnet and say, yeah, catch me up. Oof, vanish. He has certainly invested some money in that. Now, there's two completely different cars on the spectrum there. So you've got Gordan's, which is effectively the similar power, but looks pretty stock with some subtle OEM plus kind of mods. And then you've got Steve's, which is, again, similar power, but looks every single horsepower of that. You know what I mean? If you've got a spoiler that big, you've got to be having 400 or 500 horsepower, because otherwise the spoiler's just slowing you down, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So just before we recap, I just wanted to thank everyone for submitting their photos for this episode and for future episodes and previous episodes. If you have enjoyed this and you enjoy watching these and you'd like to take part, you can head over to our website. I'll put the link down in the description, and that'll give you a link and a table or a format for you to fill out with all the kind of information that we want, just to keep it similar across all cars. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to give that thumbs up a tap, and if you hate it, double tap the thumbs down. I'd appreciate that. And of course, if you don't already subscribe, that would always help the channel. Right, so let's have a quick recap. We've got Alex from Spain, that beautiful red, very, very stock OEM looking, beautiful Mark 1. We've got Gordon Douglas with the Votex big power OEM plus looking Avis. We've got Peter Loudon with the 150, which is OEM plus plus. We'll go OEM plus plus because there's not a lot he hasn't changed, but from a distance it still looks exactly like a stock 150 TT Roadster, just with a few subtle tweaks. And if you know what you're looking for, it has quite a few tricky bits. And then of course we have Steve Wilkinson's absolutely mental track build, again 500 plus horsepower, full send it, break it, build it, break it, drive it a little bit, break it some more probably. Track car, and just, yeah, Absolutely brilliant. Let me know what you want down in the description. Which one would you have? So out of these four, these were the only four available. Money was no object. Out of them four, which one would you have? Do you like the big power? Do you prefer the OEM? Do you want to get the wind in your hair or ruffle on your bald spot like me? Or do you want something a bit more fancy? I hope you've enjoyed watching that, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.